This is an art attack. This is an art attack. This is Art Attack. Hello there. Hey, listen, do you fancy a quick game of noughts and crosses? Well, forget the boring old pencil and scrap of paper. What you need is the 3D deluxe version. And here it is. Watch this. 3 in a row, and I win. Come and have a look at this. Now, to make 3D noughts and crosses, you need a small-sized newspaper. And we're going to start by making the playing grid. That's the lines that you play on. And you need to take one sheet of your newspaper and close it, and then roll it up from the bottom to the top in a nice, tight, neat roll, like that. So you've got a paper tube. And then a little bit of tape, just to tape that into position so it doesn't all fall apart. And the idea is to make 4 of these paper tubes all together, and then just place them 2 next to each other like that, 2 on the top, to create the playing grid. And when you're happy with the position, tape them down, use lots of tape and make them nice and secure so that you have something that looks like this. Now, to make the noughts and crosses themselves, take another folded sheet of newspaper and again roll it neatly from the bottom to the top, only this time when you've got your paper tube, instead of taping it, just twist it tightly like that so that you get a nice tight twist of newspaper. And now you need to make 10 of these all together. Now, for the crosses, take one of these twisted pieces of newspaper and just measure it up with the middle square on your playing grid and just trim it so that you have a little bit that fits inside that square, and then another piece across like that that also fits inside that square, and then just put the 2 of them together and tape them into a cross. And there it is. You need to make 5 crosses all together. For the noughts, again, take another twisted piece of newspaper and again measure that on the inside square of your playing grid so that it fits. That's about it. And then, again, put a piece of tape round and it's the right size. The reason I'm measuring it against the grid, of course, is so it'll fit inside the grid. And then you can trim off the excess there. Perfect fit, and again you need to make 5 noughts, so that's 5 noughts and 5 crosses all together. So that's the basic shapes. Now, to make them really strong and solid, you need to papier-mâché them. Let me just bring in my old friend here, PVA glue, the white school glue in the squidgy bottles. Mix it 2 parts glue, 1 part water, and then I'm going to start with the playing grid. It's just a case of spreading the glue onto your pieces, playing grid here, and then wrapping some kitchen roll or tissue paper or even loo roll around the bars of your playing grid like that, and just paste them on like that around the back, pushing it into all those nooks and crannies. And the idea is to cover the whole of your playing grid in 2 layers of PVA glue and tissue paper or kitchen roll, and the same with your noughts and crosses. And when you've done the whole lot in 2 layers, put them to one side to dry overnight, and when they've dried, look at this. They've gone rock hard and they're ready to paint. And paint it using poster paint or acrylic paint, but whatever you do, make sure you paint it in outrageous colours. Look at that, I'm just slopping on this fluorescent pink here onto the playing grid, and do your noughts and crosses in exactly the same way. And see what I've done with mine. When mine was dry, I put on some extra little polka dots. Look at that. That looks really crazy. And you can go really berserk with the noughts and the crosses. And there it is. Sort of ready to play, really. And the great thing is, you can do any design you like. What about something like this? Black and white polka dots. There it is. And you can leave it lying around your house because it looks great just as a piece of modern art. And of course, if it's there, it's always there when you fancy a quick game. Try it yourself. 3D noughts and crosses.
Hello, it's me, the Head. Hey, they are a brilliant idea. And if you want to make a set, roll up and tape 4 sheets of newspaper. Arrange them to make your playing grid and tape securely. Bend twisted pieces of newspaper into circles to make 5 noughts. For the crosses, cut 2 bits and tape them into an X shape. Mix white school glue with a bit of water and use it to paste strips of tissue around everything. When they're dry, paint all your pieces. And you'll have your very own deliciously delightful deluxe set of 3-dimensional noughts and crosses.